What's going on, Bimo?
Hey, we're getting ready for tour. 55 years, baby, 55. Going to cool and crisp Florida in the middle of July. Can't wait.
Warm, wet blanket.
True that.
Hey Nuji, today we are going to Wagoner, Oklahoma. We're going back from our last stop on tour last year. We're so excited to go to Immanuel Southern Baptist Church. Their church is so welcoming, and we're gonna have a performance tonight and tomorrow morning, which will be Sunday. We are so excited for this day. Woo!
God, we just thank you for yet another opportunity to go and change people's lives, an opportunity to go and be your hands and your feet, to be love to people all over the country.
I tried to do a little bit of thinking back on what I heard the couple of years that I was going on tour, and I found it kind of frustrating that I couldn't remember what was said in these mornings. I remember being in this room and getting on the bus, being excited to go, but the content of the morning wasn't necessarily all there, which made me think of a quote that I had read in a book recently by John Green, author of Turtles All the Way Down and The Fault in Our Stars. He wrote this book in 2021 during the pandemic. It kind of serves as a collection of short essays about some things that he found influential in his life, things that he thinks about, just kind of a window into his own thinking. This particular section is talking about one of his favorite songs. It's a song that he had thought about during relationships and breakups, throughout hardships, and it really spoke to me. A couple of quotes from it. He says, "Through this song, I am brought back to both heartbreak and to falling in love, with enough distance to see them as something more than opposites." When I read it the first time, I immediately took my phone out and took a picture of it, because I knew that when I cleaned out my camera roll later, I would come back and think of it again. I couldn't figure out why it spoke to me until the other day when I was thinking about it again, and what really struck me was the way that he talks about distance. A lot of the time when we think about distance, we think of separation and of loss of connection. But what I like about the way that John Green phrases it is he thinks about distance as perspective. Though I'm 4 years out from this group, there are still things that I think about and the experiences here that have led me back to this moment here. One of those things specifically is the songs. For me, one of mine is The End of the Beginning. When I hear that song and it comes up on my shuffle, I think of the performance we had on top of a mountain in an amphitheater. It started to rain. There were maybe 7 or 8 people in the audience in lawn chairs. We cut the performance short. We didn't even finish the informal section. Thank you. I remember, I believe it was Jackson Connors singing the solo, everybody just having a fantastic time in the rain on a mountain. I took the opportunity over the past couple of weeks to reach out to some of the other members of the group when I was in the group, my mom, Matt as well, to ask them if they had any memories or songs that they thought about, and I'd like to share a couple of those with you here. Molly Carlson spoke about the song You Will Be Found. She talks about how though she's performed it with different groups, it can have the same central meaning, and though that meaning may shift, it's still important to us all. Lily Kirby mentioned the Mountaintop song, which is a song we sing on the bus when we're driving on winding roads. It played before our bus worships one year, and she talks about getting ready to worship in those moments every day on tour, and how she felt the joy of community in that moment. My mom spoke about the songs The New 23rd and Friends Are Friends Forever. She says when she thinks of those songs, she can see herself on the risers, could tell you who she was sitting next to in those rehearsals. My dad, who was never in the group himself, but watched me through the group, talks about how You Will Be Found was important to him, even from the outside perspective of just seeing it performed. Kaylee Pond talked about He's Alive, and how at the end of performances with really receptive audience, everybody stood up, is clapping along with us in that moment all together. Grace Feuerbacher mentioned You Will Be Found as well, talking about the power of the guidance in the lyrics, being guided, you will be found, you are no longer lost. And Matt Payton gave a couple of answers. He talked about when he was a singer that the run-in song was really important to him as he ran in and was with his family on the risers. And then from a sponsor perspective, the song Here I Am, Lord, seeing singers go forward in their own way by taking Nucci along with them. What I think is so important about the memories that we make with Nucci is how tied to sensory receptors they are and the music of it all. In our brains, our memories are hardwired with emotional centers and sensory centers. So when we have these songs that we deeply associate with these memories, they're so much easier for us to recall. John Green goes on in his book to distill this down as what he calls a magical song. He says, like any magic, you have to be careful with a magical song. If you listen to it too often, it may become routine. You'll hear the chord changes before they come, and the song may lose its ability to surprise and teleport you. But if you're judicious with a magical song, it can take you back to places more vividly than any other form of memory, which I think speaks incredibly to what NUG does for us all and has done and will continue to do. So as you go into these next 2 weeks, I really encourage you to find those moments that you know that you'll remember. Find the connections with yourself, with your fellow singers, with strangers you may meet and whose homes you may stay in, with the songs, and with the message. Because you only get to do this once. This tour only leaves this church once. Though there may be some in the future, find the moments that you know you will look back on fondly of this moment. Thank you.
What does it really mean to you? And what will it mean to the people that you share that message with? Years ago, my family started in ministry in Dearborn, Missouri. What a great place. We love Dearborn. But we kind of tried to explore places around. And one afternoon, we went to Weston State Park. Have any of you been there? You should go. It's great. We're out and we're hiking around, and we thought we knew the way, but we didn't. And we had 3 little kids, and it's starting to get dark, and not knowing the way is a problem. So what do you do? What do you do when you're lost? And quite honestly, we got lost not knowing we were lost. How do you find your way? Well, you start to look for signs. Things that will lead you to where you're going. Your task for the next few weeks is to help people find the way. And they may not know that they're not there. They may not know they're even lost. But your task isn't to tell them they're lost. It's just simply to show and be a sign of the way.
It was a great first day. We're here in Oklahoma, AOK, Oklahoma, and we had a wonderful day with no surprises, no incidents, lots of joy, great lunch, lots of bus riding, and a fabulous performance to end the evening.
To really find the way to you, find the way to just an even bigger love for this group, for you, and for each other, God. We ask all of these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
To see all these people on a Saturday morning, gather to do something good for God. What